so they understand, because everybody, of course, doesn't function in the same way that we do. So it's really, 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 and I'm gonna keep turning my head too. Sorry, y'all. Oh, now y'all can see my babies in the back. But I've also said it, and the behavior hasn't changed. So that's what we're gonna get into with boundaries. Sometimes the hardest part of boundaries is for us to say no. And I don't mean to anyone else, I mean to ourselves. No, I'm not going to buy the thing. No, I'm not going to let my guilt and desire to walk me into something I am going to explicitly be resentful for or disappointed about shortly thereafter, because it didn't end up working out the way, at least in my mind, I thought it should or would. No, Papa. Papa. No, 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 no. Can you go in there, Daddy? Go in and close the door, okay? Sorry, y'all. My baby is 2, and he does what he wants. Close the door, Papa. Go ahead and go in and close the door for Mama. Thank you. Thank you, Pooh. Um. Okay, so all right. So, again, talking about boundaries. I can tell you that I have been guilty of it myself many times. Uh, Doing things for people that I would appreciate, when in fact that is not what I should have done because they are not me. I'll give you an example that taught me in a very hard way. I was pregnant with my son, as a matter of fact, and no, excuse me, I had just had my son. Let me backtrack. I just had my son, and I get referrals all the time from other people who are, let's say someone is interested in starting a practice or opening a business. I ran my business for 8 years. So people are referred to me all the time to say, hey, Sade knows this, that, and the third. You should reach out to her, yada, yada, yada. Plus, I'm really great at organizing processes, document creation, making sure you create your business in a functional manner that it can make money, especially with a therapy practices, of course, because that's what I have. I have a group therapy practice that I've had and ran for 8 years. So, got this referral from this person that I'm cool, like really cool with. Is a really cool colleague of mine, and the lady comes and she's like, "Hey, my name is so and so. We're gonna say Jay. My name is Jay. I want to create a business, and I was referred to you. I want to tell you up front that I've spent a lot of money because people have said they were going to do things and they didn't do the things, and now I'm still without a business. I'm not making any money, and I need a lot of help. Thank you." Um, and so I said, "Okay, I understand that. Again, this is a black woman. This is going to preface a lot of what I'm about to say. I have a soft heart for people that look like me. I want to help us. I want to love on us. That is literally the reason I started my practice, because I wanted to offer people a space that was safe and affirming and loving and nurturing to people who look like me. That was why I started my space. So she's just talking, and I'm like, look, again, I'm running her down. Like, there's a lot of things you can do. There's a lot of different ways in this, and the business you want to start. There's a lot of ways you can make money, but there's a lot of different processes you have to engage in order to get to the money. It's just with insurance, can be a long, strenuous process getting connected that way and getting contracted. So I'm just kind of running these things down to her, because for those of you who don't know, not only did I start my business myself, I did every single thing myself, which I kind of like to do because I like to know all of the functions, so I don't have to rely on anyone else to do it. It's both a great thing about me and also one of my challenges. Hey, and so in that, I have learned, again, all of the processes. I've contracted all of the insurance companies. I was the receptionist. I was the biller. I was all of the things for in the beginning for a while. So I know how to work with small, like when it's just you or a very small team and getting things done. I know I am someone who is extremely productive in general. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I'm building the context here, right? So she's like, okay, well, this is what I want to do. This is what I need your help with. So as I start kind of running her down, this is what the timeline is going to be. And I'm giving her a lot of free information. And when I say free, money has not exchanged hands. Okay. She has not paid me for my time or effort. We had a consultation meeting, but again, who I am, I'm dropping gems, gem after gem. In all fairness, if she was really listening and taking notes in there, there's a lot of things she could have did herself. But okay, I'm dropping gems, right? Okay, cool. So we get to the contract part of it. I said, okay, I'm going to drop the contract before we officially get started with services, and then we'll move forward. And then I'll get, this is the timeline. I'm telling you, this is what I'm going to do. Send her the contract. And this is where I fucked up. All right. I'm going to be very, very transparent. This is where I fucked up. I said, I recognize that you've got a lot going on. I bundled my services and I lowered the cost. This is where I fucked up. So she says, okay, thank you so much. I send her the contract. Then I get an email. So what specifically is this? And like, how much specifically is that going to cost? And could I take this off and replace it with this? And can I do this with this and this and this? So what started to happen was she wanted to nickel and dime my services at that juncture. This is why I say I fucked up, because your price is your price. Your price is your price. When someone is paying for something, I don't feel bad about what you want to change if I know my time is getting taken care of. You want to take it off? Cool. This is still going to be the price, or this is the price adjusted, or whatever. But when I am giving you, when I'm looking out and I'm giving you a discount, and I know I'm giving you a discount considerably compared to what my cost typically is, now I'm irritated. Because what I've also found is there's a difference between when you go to Walmart and when you go to fucking Bloomingdale's. When you go to Walmart, you will nickel and dime. You are looking for coupons. You are looking for every opportunity to make it lower. The price is already cheap, but it's psychological, right? All of this is psychological. If you've already devalued your time, your energy, your effort, your service, why does it matter if I do it myself? You've already done that. I've given you a discount. I've told you I've bundled my services. So obviously it wasn't that valuable. Does that make sense? This is where the boundary comes in. That conversation with the nickel and diamond and yada, 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 yada kept going on. And I got so irritated. I called her and said, hey, what's going on? I called myself looking out because I see what you're trying to do. You're a Black woman. I get it. I want to be supportive of that. But I want to be clear. I've already given you a lot of information, and you have not only not signed a contract, you haven't paid me. And at this juncture, I don't think this is productive. She says, I agree. I don't think it is either. Cool. We're going to go our separate ways. So not only did I have 2 meetings that I didn't get paid for, I've given you my time. I've given you resourceful information. I've given you all of these things with no contract, no money, no nothing, because I called myself trying to look out. But what I really did was devalue my service and make it clear that it's not valuable enough for you to have to pay for my time. That was on me. I communicated that without saying those words explicitly in the beginning. So where I learned, and this is where we're talking about boundaries. The boundary is, once I realized there was no backtracking with this, we couldn't get on the same page, it was cool to end. Let me explain the full circle and how this shit go, right? Full circle. 2 or 3 years later, couldn't have been that even long, maybe 2 years later, I'm at a meeting. I'm at a like a conference of such, and everybody's introducing their businesses, yada yada yada. This same woman, Jay, comes up to me at this meeting and says, "Hey, I just want to introduce myself. This is my business. I would love to partner with you. I think, we really need the referrals." I let her finish. She goes on and on and on because, listen, I'm a lot of things, but I try to be straight with folks, okay? I try to be straight. So she goes on and on and on, and I let her finish. And I said, "Do you remember me?" She goes, "Huh? No, I don't. Um, are you sure you don't remember me?" I don't, no, I don't really. I said, "Oh, we never met, but you reached out to my colleague and you got me as a referral for business services. And we went through all of this stuff only for you to disrespect the work that I've done. Then after that, hey, then after that, you sent me a $600 check and some flowers as if that was going to make up for the experience I had with you. I appreciate the check. It was cash. The flowers were given to my receptionist. But I remember you. I don't forget harmful experiences." And she goes, "Oh, I didn't mean, at that time I let her finish. Got a lot going on and I just was tired of being abused and it was a lot of money and all of these things." And again, I understand that. But I want to be very clear. In this business, it's a very small group and it always circles back. And you have to be very careful about how you treat people and about how you handle people trying to do right by you because they don't forget. I don't forget. And I hope and wish you the best in your business. But I will not be collaborating with you or referring to you. Have a good day. No disrespect. But it's one thing for me to violate my own needs and not create and establish effective boundaries up front. That is one thing. I am 100% accountable for that. It is another when you engage the way that you do. You have every right as a person to behave however you want, but you also have to know whatever comes with that, you're accepting also. And the energy will be the energy, no matter how you feel about it. So, the thing that I also learned in business is this: be very careful about how you treat people. Be very careful about how you treat people that you either think no longer serve you, you think you can no longer benefit from. Be very careful about how you treat people because I can tell you, and not only being a therapist for as long as I have, but if being someone who has worked since forever, and in fact, I started a business, which I didn't ever consider that initially, but I started a business when I was in middle school and I taught myself how to braid. So I braided hair and made a lot of money doing it. And I braided all the way until I was in college. Uh, and what I can tell you is a lot of business you get off a reputation and you get off relationships. So if you think for 1 second that you are going to abuse someone and misuse someone, you better know that I believe in karma, but let's put that aside for the sake of the conversation. Outside of karmic energy, it always comes back around. It always comes back around. I've had a lot of money sent my way. I've had a lot of referrals sent my way. I've had a lot of business sent my way and given because of my reputation and my relationships with people. I am a lot of things, but I treat people well. I am not going to say I don't mess up. I don't misspeak. I don't fuck shit up because I do. And of course, like I told y'all with my clients, I cuss. I don't cut no shit with them. I keep it very straight. And it's all out of love and respect and honor and care and nurturing. But I'm not holding hands with no adult person here to get their shit together. You can't afford it, and neither can I, because I'm not about to be here doing therapy with you for the next 10 fucking years. That the way that my attention is set up, no, thank you. I don't want a part of that. No, 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 no. Let me out of the car. No. So, also with that, you have to curate relationships that are conducive to your business and your working, that are conducive to how you can go back in the community and serve and build things. And again, that comes with boundaries. You can always have boundaries. You can always say no. It's how you do it. Having boundaries is necessary in business, in personal relationships. That is the healthiest thing you can do for you and the person you love, is to have boundaries. Because if not, it will end in someone being resentful, angry, feeling misused and abused. It is not going to end well, because eventually someone's going to want to stop. It always works okay until somebody says no. I love the almost kindness. It's all good till it's my most sacred phrase in business, and especially in the therapy business, and the thing that I stress to my residents is, it's all good till it's not. It's all good while it's all good. But when it's not good, it's not good. Meaning, treat it like that from the beginning. Clients are not your friends. They are not your, we good in the hood. It's none of that shit. Because it's all good till it's not. And I have had people flip on me faster than you can blink your fucking eyes. If they thought I said the wrong thing, did the wrong thing, fast. And again, I am in a business where it is extremely emotionally volatile. It is very emotionally volatile, and you cannot get into the process of someone else's volatility. You cannot be a part of that because you've already lost. So when you set your boundaries up, you are always setting them up to protect you and them from you. What does that mean? I am not going to listen. I will use myself again as an example. I love to say that I am batshit Looney Tunes and I am the best version of all those things. But I am try to be as straightforward as I can about who I am, so that we don't have any misunderstandings. So again, I'll give a story, which I love, because people always give me the side eye about this story. But I'm very particular about friends. I'm very particular about my circle. I'm very clear about me curating a space with people, women, etc., that feeds me, that doesn't consistently just take from me. I don't have time, space, or energy for that. Okay? All right. So my friend, I met this lady through one of my daughter's dance classes. She says, hey, I'm gonna bring a friend and you bring a friend. Let's go to dinner. Cool, no problem. We hit it off as a group. Everything's cool, real cool. We go out to another dinner and another dinner. And so at this particular dinner, we're like, hey, we should go on a girls trip. Now, I go on a girls trips with my line sisters. They know me, I know them. They know I'm not with the shits. I know what they're not with the shits about. So we get along like we get along. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. All right? And with that being said, I said, all right, if we're going to go on a girls trip, let me be very straightforward with you all. I don't share rooms. I don't ride in cars with other people because I want to leave when I want to leave. I can get very overstimulated and overwhelmed very quickly, depending on how tired I am or what has happened that day. I am going to exit. I'm not going to make a scene or anything, I promise. But I'm telling you, I don't share rooms. I don't share vehicles. When I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. Um, I want to enjoy my experience. So if I go alone by myself and wherever we go, no fear, I'm not upset. I just like a lot of alone time. I like to be with people and not with people at the same time. That's just my jam, you know? No disrespect. No, there's nothing else to it. I just want to be clear about those particular things. And they just looked at me and was like, yo, I've never heard anybody say anything that like that up front. And I said, well, what I don't want is there to be misunderstandings about boundaries I should have set up front after the fact, because then I'm irritated. Then we got to work backwards, and I don't want to do that. So as long as we are clear, I'm ready. I'm cool to go. I just want to make sure y'all good with all those things, because I know how I work and I know how I function very well. And it worked very well. The trip went pretty good. Um, and then, I had to deal with something after with a friend, but I had to sit on it. Because this is the other thing, y'all. Sometimes when something happens, we think the worst. We can go to these places where we think people are intentionally trying to harm us, violate us, hurt us, create strife and struggle for us, get over on us, when quite often that's not the case. Now, you do have that case sometimes. Now, we know that, right? But quite often it's not, especially with people we really fuck with. It's really not all that. But we need to sit with it and process it before we open our mouths and get into a space and a situation that we cannot get out of. Now, your message is lost in your behavior and your tone. Don't let your message get lost in your behavior and your tone, because you came at somebody sideways. You didn't even ask questions. You didn't give grace or concern or consideration. You just went left very, very quickly. Now your shit is lost in the sauce. Don't get distracted by being emotionally overzealous and impulsive, because that really can harm your desire to either set a boundary or maintain a boundary. Don't let it happen to you, because it happens so fast. How many of you can think of a time where you said something and you got way too far ahead of yourself because you were actively acting purely out of emotion and impulse? I need to talk about it right now. I need to deal with this right now. You got me totally fucked up. How could you do? What did you do? What did you say? What did you, oh, I heard this. Oh, especially the I heard shit. I heard this. I heard you did this. I heard you said that. I bop, 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 bop. And you have completely and utterly shot yourself in the foot. Completely and utterly shot yourself in the foot. Because you just didn't slow the fuck down. You just allowed your emotional space to guide, quite frankly, chaos. You allowed chaos to ensue. You initiated it because you just wouldn't take a minute, take a beat. Think about it, sit on it, process it, allow yourself to become a bit more emotionally balanced so you can have a logical and emotional conversation with yourself. But I think it's because of years of being silent and allowing others to cross my boundaries. Absolutely. Listen, how intimidating is it? Because I'm not even going to say, I still have trouble sometimes, depending on the setting, depending on the relationship. I really have to think through how I'm going to say things. There are certainly more relationships and experiences and setups that I feel much more confident saying or doing all the things than others. That applies to all of us. But what the tricky thing about what you said, Ali, if you guys can see the comment, it said, but I think it's because of years of being silent and allowing others to cross my boundaries. Then you come out of place of desperation. Now I'm so desperate to defend myself, I can't let nothing slide. Now I'm gonna tell you, right? That's a very dangerous place to be in, because you are going to be fighting fights that are not fights. You are going to actively choose, initiate, create battles that are not battles. Some shit don't even need to be addressed. And what do I mean by that? I mean, depending on the circumstance, person, place, thing, dot, dot, dot. The one thing, especially with boundaries, if I could encourage anything, is to choose your battles very thoughtfully. Choose your battles thoughtfully, because you also have to understand you are going to be undergoing the wounds of that battle. So if you keep choosing all these fucking battles, when the battle actually, when the experience comes that you actually need to engage, you're too fucking tired. You're too tired. You're too beat up. You too overwhelmed. You too fearful. You're just too much of all the shit. So the battles you actually should be having, you're not having, because you've already got your ass whooped by a whole bunch of other wars and fights and shit you wasn't supposed to even be in. Fights that just you shouldn't have been in. Because the question is, what am I fighting for? What are we battling about? If it is a boundary, I can set my boundary and not have nothing else to do with whatever else the fuck you about to do. That's none of my business. My boundary is it. That's it for me. Whatever you do after that or what everybody else is none of my business. But I'm going to tell you the other thing I found that people do quite frequently is they fight it. I'm going to come very close when I say this to you, loves. Stop fighting battles that don't belong to you. They don't belong to you. What are you fighting them for? Then you're fighting this battle for somebody else who isn't fighting the battle for themselves. Then you're pissed off because they go back to do the same exact thing that you just got in battle for. Now, then, oh no, let's keep it going. Because then you want to fight and be upset with them for a battle you fucking chose. What? What? Who said because you decided to put your life on the line that they had to do anything differently? That they had to do anything at all? You know what I found? Is that often when we are fighting battles for others, we are fighting battles we wished other people fought for us. And we do it so selfishly with ideally good intentions. But we do it so selfishly, wishing somebody had fought that battle for us. All the while, you're fighting this battle for them when there's actual battles you should be fighting for yourself. But because you are so afraid to actually do the thing for you, you are going to invest your time in doing something for someone you can't control. And then you mad. And then you mad. Why are you mad? Why are you mad? Why are you mad? We've all been there. We have all been there. All of us. Some of us is still there. Strawberry, you are taking me out. I cannot. You are taking me all the way out. Look, I if you guys are enjoying the live, please share. Please encourage more people to join. Drop some chilies if that you feeling good. That I appreciate y'all for being here. We're gonna talk. I really, really appreciate it. Um, so if all right, I'm gonna use an example as a parent. Okay. How many of y'all here are parents? If you're a parent, you can put a one in the chat if you're a parent, because this is going to really resonate. And if you're not a parent, I want you to think of it from the space of a friend. Okay. My daughter, again, has my spirit. Our personalities are, she is me reincarnated, and it's quite annoying because I get on my own goddamn nerves, to be quite frank. Uh, so my daughter is me reincarnated. I let her have a friend over, and this little girl I absolutely love. She's very, very sweet, very sweet. And so, but she has her things, just as my child has her things. So I'm in my yard working on my garden. She comes outside, and crying and shit. And I'm like, okay, so what's up? Well, I'm gonna call her friend M. M, she she hit me or something while we was. I said, okay, well, did she know that, did you say something? She knew. That's not what I asked you. Like, did you say something to her? No, I'm just saying it hurt and well, I mean, that's your friend. So are you going to let your friend know that they hurt you? Because she's not going to know if you don't tell her that she hurt you. I'm not going to tell her. She didn't do nothing to me. And I need you to learn how to speak up for yourself. It is your job to tell people when they've done something wrong to you. All right. She goes in the house. Her friend's mom pulls up. Friend comes from the back of the yard and says, hey, my daughter's name is M too. M's not speaking to me. Well, what's going on? I don't know, yada, yada, yada. Listen, for those of you who have girls, the drama is always drama. Okay? It's always doing what it's supposed to do. Well, I don't know. Maybe you should go talk to her. So her mom pulls up. Then my husband comes outside and says, did she tell you that her friend hit her? And I said, hey, don't worry. I got it. I tell my daughter to come here. I tell her friend to come here. I said, listen to me very carefully. And mind you, her mom is sitting right here. And I said, hey, I don't get in this. I'm not getting in this. I'm in my garden. You guys are quite frankly irritating my spirit and my zen right now, right? Okay, cool. Something happened. I told my daughter, you need to take your friend over there and have a conversation with her. You tell her what happened. You tell her how it made you feel. And then you guys work it out. Go walk over there. So me and her mom, we go on, we talking, we laughing. They end up laughing, talking, whatever. And I said, all right, we good? Yeah, we good. We good. That's it. That's it. Sometimes the best thing you can do is model how to navigate those challenging experiences with conflict and confrontation, because especially with your kids, because if not, they're watching how you do it. And I'd imagine if they did exactly what you do, you wouldn't always be proud of that. So we not only have to teach them in our words, but in our actions. So when she is having this issue with her friend, no, do I want my daughter to be hit and all that? No, but she's 8. And it is her responsibility to speak up for herself. She is also at an age where she is going to be in other spaces away from me often. And I have to make sure she can open her mouth and advocate for herself, and that she is learning effective conflict management tools and skills. Because if not, She is going to lose friendships and experiences and opportunities and love and laughter because it was a misunderstanding. Because she just didn't know how to say, hey, you hurt me. And really hurt me when you did this. Because as soon as she said it, her friend, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. You're my friend, I love you. But because we're so afraid of having conflict, we are avoiding, and let me back up. In the same way that we are avoiding conflict and navigating and managing confrontation, we are also avoiding connection. Do you understand how much closer you get when you can resolve issues with people? When you can build your friendships and relationships through the adversity, through the challenges, through the misunderstandings? Because then you know it's safe. You don't always know it's safe until you're presented with some of those situations and scenarios. But if you don't take the opportunity to make yourself vulnerable enough and brave enough and courageous enough to let them apologize to you, let them make it right, let them take accountability, let them be the person you actually want them to be, not the one you have made up in your mind. Build a genuine connection with people by working through those experiences, not avoiding them. That's not a friendship. That's a situationship with two people who are not fucking. Just say. In order to be close, we have to allow closeness. And closeness means they see some of the rawest, most fragile versions of us. That's just a part of it. That's just a part of it. When you avoid one, you avoid the other. That period. Like full stop, end of the statement. When you avoid setting boundaries, managing conflict and confrontation with people you love, you are avoiding connection and true vulnerability with one another. That's what it's about. How am I going to let you see me at my worst if I'm too afraid to even tell you how you've impacted me and made things worse? Does that even make sense? That don't make sense to me. Maybe it makes sense to you guys, but it doesn't make sense to me. You are taking me out in these comments. So what? I'm telling y'all, you know, some of the hardest things to do, I will say, as a therapist, is to watch people sabotage themselves and self destruct. And I have to watch it all the time because people have the right to keep doing what they're doing. I am not Allah, God, a higher power, none of those things. I am in no judgment. I got my own shit to work out. I am only here to facilitate helping these people get to be the version of themselves that they told me they wanted. And you have to know sometimes that comes through the repetition of disappointment, anger, frustration, and all the things. And recognizing that we are then the creator and carrier of these exact experiences. Because when you can then understand that, you can also make a choice. If I know that this is something I'm choosing, I can also choose something else. How empowering is that? How empowering is that? But you gotta watch people fuck they shit up. And it's hard, but how you gonna learn? How? You 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 the best thing sometimes you can do, give to people is not advice, but opportunities to do something else, something different. I situate my content the way that I do because it's an easy read, and my goal is to connect to people in their soul and like the things that people don't get to say, or they don't say, or they don't know how to articulate. But once you've said it, you can do something about it. It's hard to change something you can't articulate or put words to. But that's the beauty of the work. Is like once it's said, then what? You don't have to do anything. You really don't. You really fucking don't. Um, you really don't. But I will say, there were. I have told people I don't. It was a client I had one day, and we were talking about the same shit. Now we have been talking about the same shit for months, months, months. And I told you guys about how my attention is set up, about how my patience is set up. I cuss with my clients. We dance. I turn on music if I feel like there is a song in my spirit that is resonating with this session today. I'm gonna say, hey, I got a song for you. You want a song today? Sometimes it's Luke. Sometimes it's Aaliyah. Sometimes it's Jill Scott. Sometimes it's Master P. We don't ever know where we're going. It's just where my spirit leads me. Um, but it was a client that I had, and we kept talking about the same shit. And I remember looking at her saying, I don't want to do this today. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't have nothing else to say. What do you want to do? Why? I'm just saying, like, and I don't want to talk about this shit no more. I'm not judging you. I don't give a fuck. Listen, I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't care what you do. I just don't want to talk about this shit anymore. You can go and do whatever your heart desires. Because when I click this off, I'm going to go do what my heart desires. But I am saying, in the time that we have left together, I don't want to talk about this shit no more. Because you keep trying to convince yourself that the decision gets easier if you say it a bunch of times in different ways. It doesn't change how hard the decision is. Either you're going to make the decision or you're not. But I don't want to talk about it no more. Let's move the fuck on. Anything else? Because this whole like self-sabotaging, you have manipulated yourself to excuse your poor choices. And I'm only saying poor because that is the description that aligns with the you said you don't want to be no more. So you keep making those choices, and you want me to convince you that it's going to get you a different outcome. And I've already said everything I'm going to say. And in fact, life has showed you enough. What the fuck do you want me to say? The way my energy and patience is set up, I don't want to. Not today. I don't want to. And that's exactly what I said. I don't want to. I don't want to today. No. What else do you want to talk about? Because shit, I get off the pot. Okay? I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do. You want to keep, and again, this is in general for people. When people tell me, oh, I'm fighting and arguing and blah 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 blah, and I'm I'm cheating and I just want to stop, or I'm doing it. Hey. If you like it, I love it. Just be safe. If you like it, I love it. Just be safe out here in these streets. But I'm not gonna fight with you. Only because You set the parameters of our interaction. I asked very clear questions in the beginning. What do you want? What do you want to get out of this? What do you want that to look like? Let's develop a plan. Let's go in that direction. Now, we're going to go. You may be kicking and screaming, but we're going. When that changes, you can let me know. I'm okay if it changes. You can say, you know what, Sade, I'm not with that shit no more. I don't want to do that. Okay. So what we doing? Now, in the meantime, I am most certainly gonna call you on all of your bullshit. If you can't count on nothing else, I am going to choose violence every time. I'm going to choose violence every time. What does that look like? Oh, well, didn't you tell me that it seems like you really enjoy harming yourself in this way? Help me understand. Help me help you. I will choose violence frequently. I enjoy it. It is, quite frankly, a part of the work that I do. I am someone who believes that we require radical truth, confrontation, conflict. Even if all you walk away with is you have a clearer picture of what's right in front of you, I did my job. It is not my job as a therapist to hold your fucking hand. It is not my job to lie to you. It is not my job to pacify you. It is not my job to tell you what you want to hear. It is not my job to be your friend, be your confidant, it's not my job. None of that shit is my job. None of it. Now, what is my job is that I am going to give you all of my love and compassion and grace and consistency and honesty and perspective and choice and experience and safety and a safe place to land when it gets ugly. But you better know I am gonna love you enough to say the shit nobody else is willing to say to you. Because I don't care if you're my friend. You're not my friend. It's not my job to be your friend. I don't care if you like me. It's nice. It makes the experience a lot more pleasurable. But it's not. I tell my clients up front, at some point in this journey, you're not gonna like me, and you're gonna be pissed, and that's okay. That's okay. I welcome the beef. So I'm telling you this now. So later on down the line, I just want you to have a conversation with me. If it's something I said you misunderstood, if it's something you're upset about, if it's something, look. I'm not afraid of being wrong. I'm wrong all the time. I'm wrong. Let me know when I'm wrong. Call me up. This is a mutually challenging experience. You are one of one. You are one of one. I've never met anybody like you. I've never met you. I need you to help me help you. I need you to give me the opportunity to grow and learn with you. I'm going to fuck up. That is a guarantee. But that doesn't mean I don't have your best interests at heart. That doesn't mean that I'm not doing the work. That does not mean I'm not willing to be wrong. But I've gotten uh, oh, how can we do that? Oh, sorry, y'all. How do we? Oh. What in the hell? Okay. I've learned early on in this business, because therapy is a business. I know, a lot of times people get caught up in what the work that therapists do with clients, but it's a business. That depending on your model of how you do things, uh, people deserve people deserve radical honesty. People deserve for you to trust them with making the best decisions for themselves. People deserve that you're going to be with them through all of the fuck ups, all of the knockdown drag outs, all of the tears, all of the I said I wasn't going back to him, girl, all of that. They need to know that you're going to be with them through all of that. And they need to know that it's a safe place to return and talk about the shit they said they wasn't going to do 77 times. They need to know. That's safety. That's safety. And I've said, and I say to my staff a lot recently, I'm a lot of things. Imperfect is on that list. I am a lot of things. But one thing clients do, they always circle the block. They circle the block. Because I know I'm good at what I do. And this goes back to the boundaries conversation. Your confidence in your personhood and the space you hold and the access you give and the privilege that it is to be in your presence requires safety and safekeeping. It requires people to respect what it is that makes you you. And in order for them to respect that, you first have to respect you enough to have limits. If there are no limits, there's no respect. None. Now I believe that there are quadrants, yada yada yada. But you have to know, in order to navigate respect, there first has to be an understanding of internal value. If you don't see the value in you, if you don't hold value for yourself, if you don't explicitly create safe space for yourself, if you don't explicitly have established, express boundaries, maintain those boundaries, hold people true to those boundaries, why should anybody else? Why? That's not their job. That's not their job. Not anymore. It is draining, and those conversational leeches are no longer. Yeah, and you know what, y'all? I'm gonna do a live on this too about friendships. It seems like, hey, honey, you saying goodnight? I told him I was live. Here I come. I'm coming. Hey, hey, I love you. Are you smart? Are you handsome? Are you funny? Are you cool? Are you cute? Are you mama's baby? Okay, I love you. See you in the morning, kid. All right, y'all. Um, and I'm not sure if you guys overheard what I told my son, but before he goes to bed, I hold his hands, and he's two. I hold his hands and I look at him and I say, "Are you smart?" And all his answers have to be yes. Are you smart? Are you handsome? Are you funny? Are you cool? Are you mama's baby? Are you loved? Are you a beautiful black boy? Yes. Okay, well, we good. And we hug and we kiss and they go to bed. But the point in that is that the message is repeated over and 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 over, because I need them to believe it. I need you to believe that you're smart. I need you to believe that you are a handsome, beautiful black boy. I need you to believe that you are loved. I need you to believe that you are special and you are funny and you're a good friend. I need you to believe that, because whatever you believe is how you will go out into the world and what you will make others believe about you. When you lack confidence, you make others believe it because you believe it. When you lack compassion or awareness or intelligence, if you believe that, trust and believe that is the message you send to other people. When you lack courtesy and consistency, that is what you are teaching other people about you. Every time you open your mouth, every time you open your door, every time you turn your phone on, every time you text something, every time you interact with anyone, show yourself, walk into the world, you are teaching people things about you. They will handle you accordingly. That's it. Two things happen in an interaction with other people is they treat us how they treat everybody else, and we treat them how we want to be treated more often than not. We are very selfish creatures. We do things we are internally motivated in that most of the time, 99% of the time, we don't do shit if it doesn't benefit us. Nothing. Now, the benefit could be long term. The benefit could be, oh, it makes me feel so good. Oh, it makes me feel like a good mom. Oh, it makes me feel like a good friend. Oh, it makes me feel like a good person. Oh, it makes me feel valuable. Oh, it makes me feel like I am worthy or whatever that is. Like, but we do not do anything if we don't benefit from it. That's it. That's it. So you also need to consider that in boundaries. How do I benefit from the boundary? No, I'm kind of nervous about setting it. No, I don't know if but how do I benefit from it? Do the pros outweigh the cons? Does the discomfort up front, is it worth the potential pros on the back end? All of the things I can avoid on the back end if I just say this to you up front. Does that make sense? Thank you. I appreciate y'all so much. Again, if y'all share the live, we'll stay a little bit longer. Share the live, send some chilies for tonight, and I appreciate you guys. Again, I told you guys I'm really gonna try to be consistent in coming live more often, because I really enjoy the interaction. Posting is actually increasingly difficult for me. It is really, 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 really annoying. But I enjoy that's why I do a lot of dance videos. I love to dance. I love a good song, a good two-step, a little 1-2. I love it. Love, love, love it. So, yes. And you know what? I was going to do, and I am still, in 2027, I'm going to do an international retreat to, to Naples. I'm going to do, international retreat to Naples. So if that's something you guys are interested in, let me know. It's going to be curated. It's not going to be a whole lot of spots because it's going to be the guys is radical transformation. The guys is radical esteem building. So you are going to be, it's going to be very interactive, but also self-exploratory. So I'm definitely going to share that as it comes. But the interviews were annoying. Thank you for asking. The interviews were very annoying, but I found some fantastic candidates. I found 3. I think I had 10 interviews to do that day, and I found 3. So I'm really, really, really excited about new interns this year because the work is working, y'all. And I'm not sure if those of you who either understand neurodivergency, which is, for me, ADHD and the way it works, but my mind creativity is racing all the time. New ideas, new this, new that. And I feel implored to produce all of those things, which can be exhausting. So I am delegating the workload. So my goal is to hopefully bring on 2 new interns. And I actually was able to hire not too long ago a software engineering intern, which I'm really, really excited about. So we are growing, we are building. I speak into existence. I am this close to millionaire status. I will be a millionaire very soon. That is what I am working towards. I want to get out of, as much as I love doing therapy day to day, it is exhausting. I've been doing it a long time for me, a long time. But I love therapy. I just want to be expansive in the way that I can provide what I provide. In like settings like this, I love this. See, it did work out because yeah, my patience, y'all. I am working on it. With three kids and one as young as two, you guys know. I mean, it's different. It is very, very different. Um, but I want to answer some questions. Do you guys have questions about boundaries? How to establish them? How to maintain them? Any questions about boundaries? I want to make sure I answer some of y'all's questions about boundaries. Situations you've had that were challenging about boundaries. Anything you guys, because boundaries, I mean, people talk about boundaries all the time, but it's much more difficult in practice than it is to just say you should have them. You have on here so many gurus on relationships and girl, you shouldn't, and I would never, and this, and then the people in the comments are like astronomically interesting because you would swear everybody's relationship is perfect, everybody has things figured out, everybody has great boundaries, everybody's got shit, their shit, their man is not this and their girl is not this. You would just swear, that everybody's that. And then you get on this app and I see people giving advice or talking about things that sound absolutely asinine. And then people thinking it's a great idea. And I'm like, yo, this is a slippery slope, but okay, go off. Go off. Thank you so much for the gifts, you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. But do you guys have any? Hold on, because I missed applying. What do you mean applying boundaries? What is the? Give me more description of that. How do you stay set in your boundaries you make for yourself in regard to people? Do you want to give me an example? Maybe give an example. Maybe give an example. Um, oh, hold on. Is that the example? Oh no, Lisa, can you give me an example when you say how to stay set in your boundaries you make for other people? I want to give you, maybe an example would be more specific. Especially with those close, my boundaries with my daughter was solid as a chain link fence. Standing on the boundary like no. Well, this is the thing that you have to be very careful with children, and not, I don't want to just say in children, with people, well, with ourselves, is that we don't consistently make decisions about boundaries out of fear, because then we're going to be creating limits that don't really exist or need to exist. But then we're being guided by fear, not by what's really happening. And even as a person, we need to be flexible, because there are times where boundaries apply and we stand on them and they're cool and they're consistent. And then there are times when we need to switch it up. But because we are so afraid of sending a message or this, that, and the third, that we won't allow ourselves to be flexible enough. So we still need to be flexible, but consistent, and then we also need to continue to have the conversations openly about why we're making the decisions we're making, not just making decisions, because children are also learning how to problem solve when we express why we did something. That's not, I don't think them challenging us, or it being disrespectful. They're learning how to problem solve. They're learning how and why you make the decisions that you do. So my daughter knows. Yes, they know how to play. The kids know how to play off your feelings, and I have overhelped her. I said you were fighting battles that didn't belong to me. Yeah, yeah. And you know, um sometimes with boundaries, uh the thing is like, you have to know and be confident that it's out of love and it's out of the best for them. There are times where people are going to be completely pissed, they're not going to fuck with you, yada yada yada, but you have to do what you have to do. And quite frankly, if people cannot respect that you are establishing a limit for yourself, what are we doing here? So you only like me when I let you do whatever you want to me. What are we doing here? You don't respect me anyway. You can't. If you I want you guys to really think about this. Is there someone that you respect that doesn't have boundaries? Anyone? I don't know of anyone I respect that doesn't have boundaries. They have clear boundaries. I will say I leave a relation alone due to needing space, but heal, and it's tugging on my heart. So what is the boundary? Because this is the thing. I do fully believe if you leave a situation, that space is necessary, because if not, you eventually will fall into the repetition of the patterns and relations you had to begin with, because it's just too easy to do. But of course, you know what's best for you, you know. um because the because what is most important is what the boundary is for. Why are you setting the boundary? If the boundary is to take care of yourself, if the boundary is to take care of yourself, your desperation for connection or your fear of rejection or abandonment can't outweigh that, because it's going to win every time. If that makes sense. And I don't know if that necessarily applies to you, but boundaries, no contact. I'm not budging, afraid of going backwards, because yeah, for sure. Listen, until until the house is solid, as they said in the Three Pigs. Until the house is solid, bitch, you don't get to blow me down. Sorry. Sorry, all it's gonna take is a nice word, a what you doing text, I miss you the fuck no. Nah. If your house isn't built on a firm foundation and it's not strong enough yet, you know you better than anybody else. You know what you got to do. Because all it's going to take is the right word, hit you at the right time. You sad, you feeling lonely. It's going to take, and I can tell you right now, there is something about people who have been in relationships for extended period of time where they learn their patterns very well, and they know when and how to get you every time. Every time. Every time. Because if they knew you was standing on business from the beginning, they would have made a different decision. If they knew. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, because I was saying that. Okay, listen. I cannot talk. um, but yeah, if if they knew you had boundaries from the beginning, there's a lot of shit people wouldn't do. There's a lot of things people wouldn't do, because they know you're gonna stand on business. They know you're gonna stand on business. They already know. They not fucking with you like that. And it's not in just what you say, but it's how you move. Not just with them, but with other people. They know. They know. I'm gonna tell y'all something while we wrap up too. I This social media situation is very interesting to me. Um, I am married. I have been married, and with my husband, we've been married 11 years together. almost 13. Uh, and people messaging me about, I don't know, hey, you're beautiful, all these things, right? And I kept saying to myself, how do I say, no, this is not the place. I am doing business. I am married. Absolutely not. How do I say that with being respectful and kind and sending this like warm energy? Um, because it's a no for me. It's an absolute hell no for me. I stand on business, and I don't want you to even interpret, get the wrong idea past, hey, hey, how can I help you? Oh, I liked you. I thought you, we need, because what is going to happen is, if you think that I'm not going to stand on business, if you think there is even an open opportunity, you're going to cross the line. That's what people do. Let me see how serious you are about a boundary you act like you have. If y'all didn't hear nothing else I said today, keep that in mind. Just like a child, people are gonna see how firm you are on your boundaries. Let me see if you're gonna stand on that shit. Let me see how serious you are about what you're saying to me. It's like a job. If you say you're serious about me not showing up late, but I've showed up late 3 times in a row, nobody said anything, I didn't get docked, no points, no nothing. It's open season, ho. It's open season. Oh, I had to stop at Starbucks. I needed to be right before work. Oh, my daughter was sick. Oh, school bus was running. Oh, I wasn't feeling too well this morning. I didn't even know if I was coming to work today. It's open season. The moment you get to a job, and I just make it practical. We've all been there. The moment you get to a job and you think they're not going to hold you firm to a standard practice rule, oh, why I gotta be stressed if I don't need to be stressed? I don't need to race to work for what? You not Nothing's gonna happen. And even if you say something to me today, you probably only doing it because everybody saw me be late. Like, we then start to rationalize why someone enforced the boundary, because I've seen you not be serious about it so many other times. I've seen you, I've watched you not be serious about your boundary so many times. Thank you. I hope I listen. Plant My Babies give me my entire life in here. But yeah, if y'all think about your boundaries being your job. So you told them they cannot be late or they're gonna get docked. But every time they're late, you don't say a word. Or hey, please just don't do it again. Fuck that. Fuck that. I said what I said. You get one warning. After that, it's up. Because you need to know fat meat is greasy. You're not going to respect the rules if you don't believe they apply. Does that make sense? You're not going to respect, nobody's going to respect your rules if they don't believe they apply. You're not going to do anything about it. A rule is not a rule without consequences. It's not a rule. It's optional. It's not a rule. A rule, i.e., a boundary, is this is my rule, this is what I mean. If it is optional, it's not a rule, it is a suggestion. It's not a boundary, it's a suggestion. Which are you giving? Are you giving suggestions? Or are you making things clear with boundaries? Two different things. If it's optional, we see what happens with optional. count on people to test you. They're going to do it every time. Every time. The one thing that has shot me in the foot as a business owner is I give people way too much grace. Because, again, I know what I would want and what I would need as a person. But I also know when I get to that job, I'm going to work my ass off. I know what I would want, but that has shot me in the foot as a business owner. If I was an asshole, I would be a millionaire already. Already. Because people don't fuck around with people they know are serious and that they know are going to hold them tried and true. They don't fuck around. And so the more that I've come around to that, the more shit gets done. Consistently. And it be killing me on the inside. I don't want to do all that, but I know it's required. I know it's required. A good leader does the dirty work. A good leader knows the impact of no. A good leader knows the impact of holding the people you work with accountable. They understand that. How you do it matters. But a good leader understands that. And there are hard conversations you have to have. You have to. So I hope this was helpful. Again, this is not therapy at all. This is not advice. Please do whatever your heart desires. This is no judgment here. I just I'm trying to be thoughtful about the topics I choose for things that, like, when I'm reading the comments, things that I've seen that people want to talk about. Are there topics you guys would like me to address live or in a post? But I want to kind of get an idea of what kind of things you guys want to talk about when I'm live, because I've come just kind of talking about things that were at the forefront of my mind, and again, things that I've seen and read in the comments. But, like, are there topics you all would like me to address live? Because I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys information you want to know. I really enjoyed this conversation about boundaries, and I thank you guys so much. Ooh, oh, you talking. All right, hold on. Let me write that down now. That was a great yes. So one of the suggestions from Glow Wellness Coach, which thank you for that, is the grief that comes with setting boundaries. Yes, 1000%. I'm writing that down. Mm. Okay, that's on my list. The grief that comes with setting boundaries. That's a fantastic topic. I love talking about grief in general. Thank you so much. Thank y'all. Any Are there any other topics y'all want to talk about? I have grief that comes with setting boundaries. Anything else? Grieving while, yes. Yep, absolutely. So grief is I love talking about grief, y'all. Love talking about grief. Grief, I don't think people understand that they grieve way more frequently than they're aware of. Meaning and knowing the end of a potential relationship that will never happen. Meaning knowing the end of a potential relationship. Tell me more, because I think I'm confused. Knowing the end of a potential relationship. Tell me what you mean. Yeah, yeah. Tell me more of what you mean. I don't want to. I don't want to assume. I might be misunderstanding. But you guys that are coming in, I'm asking for topics that you guys are interested in me talking about live that you want to discuss. I want to know a little bit more about what you were saying before I I want to understand. I don't think knowing that what you were promised. Oh, you better strap in for that one. So assuming if I'm understanding, you're grieving the idea, not that this ever was. It was the idea of something. That is a big one. And I can tell y'all right now, that is a big one in relationships. Often people are functioning on the idea of someone or something they thought or wanted, not the actual person. Not the actual person in front of them. Oh, that's a fantastic. I've written it down. That's fantastic. I love that. So grief. We're going to be having a great conversation about grief. I love that. Ooh, I love that so much. No, yes, 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 yes. Okay. Um, yeah. Okay. So like the it's not only the idea, it is the expectation around a role or a relationship that never came to fruition. Okay. 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 That's fantastic. Came to fruition. That's fantastic. On the list, I have the list of topics y'all want to discuss. So I'll make sure because we might just have a conversation in general about grief and include those things. But if you guys have any more ideas, I'm going to try to put out another video before I go to bed. And if you have any questions, don't forget to message me. Make sure you check out my website, The Mahogany Project, projek.com. Subscribe there. You can get all of my merch there, all of my journals, all of my books are in my link in my bio. Please get you a journal. I love, 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 and put a lot of love into those journals and workbooks. And the books that I have there. So please read them. Let me know if you like them, love them, hate them, whatever your experience is. And I'll be coming out with some more products very, 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 very soon. So I will see you on the next live. I hope you have a fantastic evening and please take care of yourself. Bye. Oh, that's cool. All right.